You scare me when you're angry. I don't want him to beat me. Is that so unreasonable? Hi, my name is Raudhah, and today we're going to talk about the romanticization of abuse. Let's go. So, before we delve any deeper, let's get our definitions straight. So, what is romanticization? According to the freedictionary.com, romanticization is the act of indulging in sentiment, also known as glorification, idealization, or a portrayal of something as ideal. Okay, so now moving on, what defines as abuse? So, according to the National Domestic Violence Hotline, abuse is a pattern of behaviors by one partner to maintain power and control over the other in a relationship. Now, this includes physical harm, intimidation, manipulation, and control, and many more. It's also safe to mention that usually when one form of abuse happens, others will come along eventually. For example, maybe a household happens physical abuse in there. Most of the time, it would come along with emotional abuse or psychological abuse. Got it? So now that our definitions are straight, let's get into the mediums. I'll see you then. Hi. Hello. So now, one of the examples that I am going to use in the romanticization of abuse is a book called 50 Shades of Grey, written by E.L. James. Basically about a girl named Anastasia, or better known as Anna, a naive version, low self-esteem girl meeting up with a handsome, rich businessman who is named Christian Grey. Now, it is seemingly the plot that Anastasia is low self-esteem and she doesn't know that she's pretty, or she doesn't think that she's pretty, or she doesn't know that she's special. And then here comes Christian Grey, who is handsome and rich and everyone loves him, but the problem is that he is broken, or that he is brooding. Now, the quotes that I read before were actual quotes from the book. Let me remind you, quotes like, I don't want him to beat me. Is that so unreasonable? I think one's enough for now. And you see, what this creates, how this romanticizes this thing, is that the book creates a fantasy in which the handsome rich man who is broken meets this low self-esteem naive woman, and she frees him, even though he is treating her so badly. He keeps treating her like an object, and the fantasy is that he loves me. He loves Anastasia. It is repeatedly told, or in his point of view, that I love Anastasia. I can't live without Anastasia. But somehow he is still treating her like this. Of course, moving forward, there is an explanation to why Christian Grey is the way he is. But you see, having an explanation to why you're doing something does not make your actions valid, nor do they justify it. Books like this romanticize abuse. They make it seem like at the end of the day, it's okay if he mistreats me because he loves me. I know that. And it's wrong and it's horrible, because it will constantly put younger women into these relationships in which they will accept, and it doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, he'll still love me. He'll come home to me and sleep next to me. There's also this trope in which he's only doing that because he's broken. I just need to save him. I can save it. I can understand him. I am the only person who knows him well. This not only does it romanticize abuse, but it puts an extreme pressure onto women that they are responsible for men and their actions, when in reality they are not. Books like these, stories like these, create such fantasy worlds in which at the end of the day, he'll change for her, he'll be better for her, and that's such a dangerous picture to paint for the younger generation. So as a conclusion to this video, I would like to remind people that it is okay for you to write abusive relationship tropes in your stories as long as you do not romanticize them. Write them as they are. Do not turn them into fairy tale endings. Remember that the people who are reading your stories, your books, your fan fictions, they will receive a message. You need to make sure that those messages are worth receiving.